Hey guys, the Gaming Kitten is back with another fun-filled video here. This time we're gonna do a couple scary stories today from the subreddit r/ScaryStories. So please enjoy this with me as this is one of my favorite topics with the horror and spooky stories, honestly. So sit back and let's tune on into our first story. We will be reading a couple stories by Mochi510. The first story is Summer of 2013. This is something that I thought I never get to experience, and I wish I didn't either. I live in a big city in Kentucky named Louisville, Kentucky. I'm from a small town named Bardstown, Kentucky, where most of my family lives. I visit my aunt every summer since we moved to Louisville. My aunt's house was big and beautiful. I loved at the house every time I visit until summer of 2013. In the summer of 2013, my aunt called and asked if I wanted to stay a couple weeks, since I just got out of school for the summer. Of course, I said yes, and then she told me that she'd been experiencing crazy stuff for a couple of months, and she wanted to let me know what's going on. I was so excited and happy that couldn't wait until I got down there. I finally arrived at my aunt's house, and everything seemed normal like always. Me and my cousin hung out, and my aunt took me places, like any other summer I've been there. A week went past, and nothing has happened since I arrived until one night. My aunt, me, and my uncle and cousin was having dinner in the living room and was watching TV. My aunt said, "Did you hear that?" I was like, "Hear what?" My aunt turned down the TV, and all you hear is footsteps going back and forth upstairs and my cousin's room. Nobody was up there. We listened for a good minute or two until they stopped. My aunt said, "Well, that is our ghost." I was very scared and nervous, plus excited at the same time because I knew there was nobody up there. The next night, my aunt said the most activity is in the guest room, and I asked if I could sleep in there since I've been sleeping in my cousin's room. She told me yes, and I did that night. I had an iPod Touch that I got for Christmas that year and put it on the charger and stand it up to start recording. Now here is the setup in the guest room. It's a small room with two doors, one on the left and one in the back. A bed and TV with a fan sitting on the corner. The door on the left is to enter the hallway, and the door on the back is to enter the playroom when my little cousins came over, and they somewhere to play. The bed is on the left corner of the room with a stand, and the TV is on the right corner of the room. The iPod was recording on the stand next to the bed, where the back door to the playroom was recording with the TV on the right. I always sleep with the TV on, to see if I could catch anything with the TV light. I fell asleep finally. I remember I went to bed around 11 p.m., and then I woke up around 3 a.m. in the morning. Usually I never, and I repeat never, wake up like I did. I sit up out of bed and look at my iPod, and it was still recording and on. I grabbed the iPod and saved the video and turned it off. I looked around the room and the TV was off, which was weird because it was on when I went to bed. Then I got this most discomfort feeling I've ever experienced, and I mean a bad feeling, like getting the hell out of Dodge feeling. Something did not want me in that room, and I did not want to be in there anymore as well. I felt like someone was watching me the entire time, and they was not happy I was there. I got up and took off upstairs, and wasn't looking back either. I opened my cousin's room, shut the door, and hopped in bed, and put my head under the covers. That feeling was on edge, and I felt sick to my stomach. I didn't really sleep the rest of the night, and was just played on my phone until sunrise. My cousin woke up next to me, and asked me, "Why are you here? I thought you were sleeping in the guest room." I responded, "I didn't feel like I was welcome in that room." My cousin said that he never will sleep in that room or ever go in there because there is a bad feeling every time he goes in there. Hearing that from my cousin made me feel even more sickened feeling. My cousin is the age of 26 years old, is scared to be in there, That should tell you something since I thought he wasn't scared of anything. Later that day, I remember that I had a recording during the night, so I ran upstairs, got my iPod and my Beats headphones, plugged them in and listened. Now this was the most terrifying sounds I ever heard in my life. During the recording, I did found that my aunt turned off the TV 30 minutes after I fell asleep, so that was bunked. But 1 hour of the video, the audio caught a terrifying monster sound growling. The growl was so loud in the audio that I jumped so hard. After the growl, all you heard was the back door open and some shut from the playroom. Then you reel a female and a male voice talking but couldn't hear them because they were talking so low. Even my Beats headphones could not hear what they were saying, but you knew it was a woman and a male voice. The conversation lasted most of the video until you hear the back door open and shut again. After that happened, nothing. Just complete silence. After that happened, nothing. Just complete silence until you see me wake up and turn off the iPod. I was so shocked and scared because all that was happening when I was sleeping in that room. I took off my headphones and ran to my aunt and told her to listen. After she got done listening to the audio, you can just see the face expression on her face. She took the headphones off and gave me the headphones and iPod back. She told me that was the craziest thing that she has ever heard. I, myself, will never go back in there during that summer. Unfortunately, my iPod got stolen back in 2016, so I don't have the audio anymore, and my aunt finally moved out of the house in 2017 to a new home. There was way more stuff that happened during that summer, but these stories are for another time. But I will never forget the summer of 2013. Alright guys, what did you think about this story from Mochi510? There is another story that they have updated and we will get to that next post here shortly. Leave a comment down below of what you think of this story and what is the craziest thing that has ever happened to you, either paranormal or anything along those lines of the unbelievable. Please let me know down below because I would be interested in hearing your stories. Alright, so let's get on to the next one. Our second story today is My Cousin's Room by Mochi510. In the summer of 2013, I stayed at my aunt's house until school started back. She lived in Bardstown, Kentucky. When I was there, I stayed in my cousin's room because we always played with cards, board games, etc. It will be very late at night, so I just fall asleep in his room. I did stay half of the night in the guest room, but I would never again sleep or go in there since what happened in my other story I told before this story. This story is my cousin's room. The night that scarred me and him forever. Couple weeks after my experience in the guest room, I stayed in my cousin's room every night because I felt safe with him and not scared. Every night he would play board games, cards, video games, etc. with me. I enjoyed it and it was fun since there was nothing else to do and I didn't have a cell phone yet like every other person in the world. I'm going to try and explain my cousin for you. He is 5'9", 185 pounds, and a full country boy. He's not really scared of anything that I thought. He loves hunting, fishing, and his family. Full American country boy, and he would do anything for me and his family. He is one of my favorite family members, and what happened that night, we will never forget. It was around 3 a.m., right at the same time that happened during the guest room experience. Me and my cousin just got done playing Resident Evil, one of our favorite games and scariest games at the time. We turned off the TV and the game system, walked over to the bed, and started to lay down like always until we heard a monster thing growling in the hallway. It was so loud that I jumped and asked my cousin, "Did you hear that?" He said yes. and told me to stay quiet. Of course I did. I did not move an inch. After the growl, it was a complete silence. It was so silent that you could hear a cricket outside. I was holding my breath and just trying to stay calm. My cousin finally said something, that he was going to check it out, and I said, "Are you nuts?" He replied, "No, but I need to make sure it's gone." My mind said, "It's gone. I know that there was something in the house and all, but does he know what this thing is?" My cousin started to move, and then we heard the door handle turning. My cousin stopped in his tracks and said to me, "Be quiet." I closed my eyes and acted like I was asleep. I didn't know what my cousin was doing, but I was scared out of my mind. The next thing we heard was the door opening. Not just a low turning, but a opening that you do when you get mad at your parents. At this moment, I stopped breathing and told myself I was a goner. As I was thinking that, you heard footsteps coming closer and closer towards the bed of my cousin's room. The footsteps get louder and louder, heavier and heavier. I took my hands and covered my ears and tightly closed my eyes. There was tears coming down my eyes, and I really thought that was it. I can still hear the footsteps coming, and I was shaking. Then you just hear my cousin yell really loud to the thing, "Go away! You don't belong here! You need to go back to where you came from now!" Then silence was in the air again. The adrenaline rush that I was feeling has stopped in my body, and I opened my eyes. My cousin has passed out somehow. The door was shut closed. Me being confused and scared that I almost crapped myself. It felt normal, and reality acted like nothing didn't just happen. I shook my cousin and woke him up. I asked him if he was okay. The only thing he said, "Is it gone?" I reply, "I think so." Then you hear footsteps running up to the steps, and the door opening hard, and it was my aunt and uncle. They asked us if we was okay, and me and my cousin explained everything to them. My aunt was scared and couldn't believe that happened. My uncle thought that we was just being kids and just dreaming, even though my cousin is 26 years old at the time. I still couldn't believe that my uncle didn't believe us, but I don't think I would believe us if I didn't experience either. Later that morning, I told my cousin that we should do some ghost hunting stuff, and he agreed with me. At the time, I thought it was a great idea, and so did he, but we would never start thinking about it if we knew what was going to happen next. I thought my cousin's room was terrifying, but I was wrong. Alright guys, what did you think about these scary stories today? Please leave a comment down below of what you would like me to read next. And please leave a like, it does help me out. Turn on the bell notifications if you do enjoy my content. And also please leave a subscription because it is helping me out a lot here. So I do thank you all for coming in and watching all the videos that I do produce. I want to thank every one of you. Thank you all, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye!